Welcome to another chair yoga practice. Wonderful to have everyone joining us again this morning. Welcome to our Encore ladies, our YWCA Hunter members, and of course our Friday chair yogis. So today's practice is we're going to do a Sun Salutation practice. So it's going to be a nice, short, sweet practice with a couple of rounds of a Sun Salutation, and we'll just go through these movements slowly to begin with, and we'll do a couple of rotations on either side. But to start with, like with all of our practices, the most important thing is our posture to begin with. Our feet beautifully grounded onto the ground, so just really earthing them into the ground, flat on the floor, spreading those toes. Our knees are 2 fist widths apart, so ideally in line with our hips, engaging our core. Really nice, bringing that belly button to the spine, or like zipping up your jeans. So just keeping that core nice and engaged, not reducing that pressure on your lower back. That's really important. Our sitting bones really nice and sturdy in our chairs. Relaxing those shoulders down, those shoulder blades down. The crown of the head up to the ceiling, our chin slightly tucked in. Just taking a moment here just to relax into our seated mountain pose, and remembering if at any stage throughout the practice you feel any discomfort, please come back to our seated mountain pose, which is where we are right now. That is the most important thing. It's not about feeling any pain, and just your practice is within your limits and just taking it to as far as where your body can go. So please don't push yourself to at all. So to start with, is just sitting in our chair, just taking a couple of breaths, inhaling through our nostril and a big sigh on the exhale. Again, inhaling from our belly up through to our chest and a big sigh on the exhale. And a couple more of these. And one more big exhale here, and just let everything go. And just now coming back to your natural breath. And remembering our movements are in rhythm with our inhaling and our exhaling. We want slow, steady movements. It's not a race. It's about just trying to allowing our body to move in rhythm with our heart, and slowing that heart down. And so on the next inhale, just bringing our arms overhead and exhaling. Inhaling, just bring as far as what's comfortable for you, and exhaling. So if it's only as far as here, just bringing it forward to whatever feels comfortable for you. And one more. Bringing our fingertips to our shoulders, and then just rotating the shoulders. And in the opposite direction. And remembering to breathe. Coming back to our seated mountain pose. Now just bringing our foot and rotating the ankle. Whether it's your left or your right, that is whatever's comfortable for you. So I'm doing my right here, so and remembering to rotate in both directions. And give those toes a bit of a wiggle as well. And now let's go to our opposite leg. So if you started with your right, let's do our left now. Rotating around that ankle, wiggling those toes, and then rotating back in the opposite direction. Okay. Now, just rotating those hips, just lubricating them, warming them up a little bit. And then in the opposite direction. And now let's do it with the opposite leg. Remembering to breathe. Ideally, if you can, in through your nose and out through your nose. But if that's too much, in through your nose and out through your mouth. So whatever is comfortable for you, but remembering to breathe and don't hold your breath. And keeping that core nice and engaged. Now bringing our legs down and just realigning our bodies back to our seated mountain pose. Now we'll start with our Sun Salutation, so our seated Sun Salutation. So we'll go through a couple of different moves here, and I'll start facing forward and I'll move on to the side as well, just to give you a bit more of a different idea from that angle. To start with, just bring your arms overhead on the inhale, and then on the exhale into prayer, and just coming down, if you can, into a forward fold position. If that's too much, just hanging onto your thighs, or you can bring your arms back, whatever is comfortable for you. If you can, just really gently just spend a couple of breaths here in this forward fold position. And then on our next inhale, we're coming up, engaging that core and into our halfway lift. So bringing our hands onto our thighs, our elbows backwards, and keeping our back nice and straight. Inhale, and then on the exhale, we come back into our forward fold. And then we're coming back up into inhaling, and then on the exhale, coming back into our prayer. So then we hands up on our inhale and bringing our left foot back a little bit, engaging that core on the inhale, and then on the exhale, just tipping forward. And then inhale, coming back up. And on the exhale, bringing our arms down. And then our legs back. And now inhale, bringing our arms up and doing our opposite foot. Halfway tilt. And then our arms back. And then our foot back. Now come bringing our hands up again, bringing our feet out. And we're pushing that forward, toes pointing. It's like a seated downward dog. You can bring your arms up closer to your ears. That's wonderful. Just really engaging everywhere. And a couple of breaths here. And then coming up and bringing our legs in, and then arms down. And another pose is our plank. So that was our downward dog. Our next pose is bringing both of our feet back like we had them previously. And with our plank, it's just keeping the elbows nice and tight in close to the shoulders. And so nice and high, close to our waist, not up high, down at our waist. And just engaging that core and imagining you're doing a plank on the ground. Keeping that back nice and straight, gauging that core, and then coming back up. Releasing our hands and then our legs. Now we'll bring all those moves in together in a bit of a routine. So it's called our Sun Salutation. So we'll start and we'll do a couple of rounds of this. So getting ready in our seated mountain. And inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming up one vertebrae at a time, arms overhead, and then bringing, exhale, our hands into prayer. Inhale, our hands near our shoulders, bringing our left foot back, and on the exhale, tilt forward and on the inhale, coming back up. And if you can, bring both feet. If not, keep just the one foot there. And then we'll just come forward into our plank. Inhaling, both legs out, arms straight ahead or up near our ears, and we come into our seated downward dog. One more breath here. And then on the inhale, coming up. And exhale, arms down. We'll do that on the opposite side again. Just take a couple more breaths here.
Now let's start on the other side. So arms overhead on the inhale, and on the exhale, hands into prayer. On the inhale and exhaling, coming down into our forward fold. Inhaling into our halfway lift. Exhaling to our forward fold. Inhaling, hands overhead. And exhaling, bringing our hands to our shoulders and keeping our elbows nice and close. And bringing our right foot back now. Inhale, and then exhale, we do the tilt. Inhaling, exhaling. If we can, bring both feet back. If not, just keeping one leg back. So inhale and exhale, we just tilt. And exhale, pushing out with our arms and hanging on, really pushing into the ground with our feet. Inhaling, coming back. Exhaling, extending our legs forward. And exhaling into our downward dog. For a couple of breaths here. Inhale, really engaging all parts of the body. Remembering to breathe. Keeping those shoulders away from our ears. And then on the next inhale, coming up overhead. And on the exhale, releasing and coming back to our seated pose. So what I'll do is I'll do from the side angle here, and we will do a practice on either leg on from the side, and we'll just flow through that as smoothly as we can. So to start with, let's just get into our seated mountain pose again, keeping that core nice and engaged, shoulders away from the ears, We'll start on the inhale, and on the exhale, forward fold. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale into prayer. Now bringing our hands to our shoulders, our elbows close to our waist, and our left foot back. And we inhale, and then exhale, we tilt forward. Inhaling, coming back up. And then exhale, both feet back if you can. If not, one at a time. Inhaling, exhaling, both legs out. Inhaling, arms up overhead or whatever's comfortable for you. And then exhaling forward into our downward dog. And just taking a couple of breaths here. And then on the next inhale, coming up. And on the exhale, releasing the legs and the arms. We'll go on to the other side. Inhaling, exhaling to our forward fold. Inhaling into our foot halfway lift. Exhaling into our forward fold. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, hands down into prayer. Bringing our right foot back. Inhaling, hands up near shoulders. Exhaling forward. Inhaling up. Bringing out up the back if we can. And then exhaling. Inhaling back up. And extending the legs and the arms. And then exhaling into our downward dog. Couple of breaths here. And then on the inhale, coming up and releasing legs and the arms. That was our Sun Salutation, a seated Sun Salutation. So it's a lovely practice to do in the morning and to start the day. So we'll just do a couple of little stretches here. So we're just coming on the edge of our set here, extending our right leg out, trying to keep that foot nice and grounded, engaging that core. Now we can just hang on to the upper thigh, and it's inhaling the arm up and extending overhead and looking up to the ceiling if you can. If not, down onto the ground's fine, or onto the side. So just making sure there's no pressure on the neck and trying to keep that core nice and engaged. And taking a couple of breaths. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then on the next inhale, coming back up. And then we'll just do the opposite leg. So keeping that nice leg nice and straight, sitting bones on the edge of the seat, foot on the ground, and keeping that hand on your hand on your thigh. On the inhale, really extending it, and on the exhale, just going over to the side. So whatever is comfortable for you. And if that's too much, keeping your hand down on your hips. Just a couple of more breaths here. And on the next inhale, coming up and releasing. So to finish off, we'll just do a quick body scan So get nice and comfortable in your seat, relaxing everything, engaging that core, just bringing our focus back to our breath, our natural breath, and trying to let go of any of those thoughts that come through our minds, the things that we have to do today. Just let them go and bring that focus back to our breath. Keeping your eyes downcast or closed, whatever is comfortable for you. And letting the body enjoy the practice we have just allowed it to do. And relaxing from the crown of the head all the way down to our feet. Just allowing the body to sink and relax. Continuing to focus on our breath. Smooth as silk. When you're ready, bringing your focus back, opening your eyes, hands by our side. We'll take a hands overhead of the big breath. Inhale and into prayer on the exhale. From my heart to yours, namaste. Have a beautiful day.